Imagine holding the latest iPhone 15 Pro in your hands. Its A17 Pro Bionic chip processes 35 trillion operations per second. Its camera system captures professional quality photos, and its display shows billions of colors. Now, imagine someone telling you this masterpiece of engineering emerged from a pile of silicon and metal that randomly assembled itself over millions of years. The mere suggestion would be laughable. Yet, evolutionists expect us to believe something far more preposterous about the human body, which is trillion times more complex than any smartphone ever created. Let's dive deep into the molecular world of DNA, where the bankruptcy of evolutionary theory becomes glaringly obvious. Inside every human cell, there's a DNA molecule stretched end to end would measure about 6 feet long. This DNA contains approximately 3 billion base pairs, precisely arranged to code for roughly 20,000 genes. The information density is so remarkable that a single gram of DNA can store 700 terabytes of data, equivalent to 14,050 gigabyte Blu-ray discs. Just to copy this information, your cells need 30,000 copying machines called DNA polymerases, working with an error rate of just one mistake per billion nucleotides. The mathematical impossibility of the system arising by chance is staggering. Let's break it down. Even for the simplest self-replicating organism, you need at least 387 protein-coding genes. The probability of getting just one moderately sized protein by chance is 1 in 10 circumflex, 164. To put this number in perspective, there are only 10 circumflex 80 atoms in the entire observable universe. And we're talking about just one protein, when life requires hundreds working together in perfect harmony. Let's examine the cell's complexity in unprecedented detail. The average human cell contains approximately 42 million protein molecules. Each protein is a precise sequence of amino acids, folded into intricate 3D structures. The cell's protein-making factories, ribosomes, manufacture 2 million proteins per minute with astounding precision. The cell's transport system, powered by molecular motors called kinesins, walks along cellular highways, carrying cargo with perfect efficiency. These molecular machines take precise 8 nanometer steps, consuming 1 ATP molecule per step, a level of efficiency that makes our best human-engineered motors look primitive. The Cambrian Explosion presents an insurmountable challenge to evolutionary theory. In a geological instant, just 10 million years, nearly all major animal body plans appeared suddenly in the fossil record. This includes complex creatures like trilobites with sophisticated compound eyes containing calcite lenses, appearing with no evolutionary predecessors. Darwin's gradual evolution cannot explain this sudden burst of complexity. The fossil record shows exactly what we'd expect from special creation, complex life appearing abruptly, fully formed. Let's dissect the human eye's irreducible complexity. This optical marvel contains 137 million light-sensitive cells, each one more sophisticated than our best digital cameras. The retina processes 10 billion calculations every second before sending information to the brain. The eye's focusing ability is so precise it can detect a single photon, the smallest possible unit of light. Every component, from the transparent cornea to the auto-adjusting iris to the light-sensing retina, must be present and perfectly arranged for vision to work. Remove any part and the entire system fails. Regarding beneficial mutations, let's examine the cold, hard facts. The human genome accumulates about 200 new mutations per generation. A study of 1,000 human genes found that even slightly beneficial mutations occur only once, in 10 circumflex 10 times. More importantly, these rare beneficial mutations never add new genetic information. They only modify or delete existing features. No mutation has ever been observed, creating new complex organs or systems. It's like expecting typing errors to improve a Shakespeare play. Let's explore the molecular machines that defy evolutionary explanation. The bacterial flagellum is a rotary engine made of about 40 different protein parts. It spins at up to 100,000 revolutions per minute, can stop in a quarter turn, and switch directions in a quarter turn. All parts must be present and assembled in the correct order for it to function. The assembly instructions themselves are encoded in DNA, requiring another layer of specified complexity. Evolution has no explanation for how this system could have evolved gradually when it only works when fully assembled. Consider the ATP synthase motor, another molecular machine found in every living cell. This remarkable protein complex generates cellular energy through mechanical rotation, operating like a turbine engine at the molecular scale. It spins at 9,000 revolutions per minute, generating 3-4 ATP molecules per revolution. The precision engineering required for this nanoscale motor to function defies any evolutionary explanation. Let's examine symbiotic relationships that evolution cannot explain. The leafcutter ant and its fungus garden showcase an extraordinary level of mutual dependency. The ants cultivate specific fungus strains, protect them with antibiotics produced by bacteria they cultivate on their bodies, and feed them precisely prepared leaves. The fungus, in turn, produces specialized structures that only the ants can digest. This complex relationship involves multiple species working in precise coordination, a system that couldn't have evolved gradually because all parts must work together perfectly from the start. The genetic code itself presents another insurmountable problem for evolution. It's not just complex, it's optimized. Scientists have calculated that out of the millions of possible genetic codes, the one used by life is optimized for error minimization. This optimization is exactly what we'd expect from intelligent design, but virtually impossible to achieve through random processes. The language of DNA raises an even more fundamental question. Where did the information come from? DNA contains not just information, but meta-information, information about how to process information. It contains not just genes, but regulatory sequences that control when and where genes are expressed. This hierarchical information system mirrors human-engineered computer systems, pointing unmistakably to intelligent design. As we conclude this comprehensive examination of evolution's failings, let us turn to the wisdom found in the Quran, Surah Al-Mulk, verse 3. Who has created the seven heavens in harmony? You cannot see any fault in the beneficent one's creation. Then look again. Can you see any flaws? This verse beautifully encapsulates what modern science has revealed. The precise, intricate, and flawless design evident at every level of creation. From the quantum mechanics that govern molecular machines to the complex orchestration of entire ecosystems, we see not the random accidents of evolution, but the unmistakable signature of an intelligence far beyond human comprehension. The more deeply we probe into the machinery of life, the more evolution's explanatory framework collapses. Each new scientific discovery, from the digital code of DNA to the nanoscale engines in cells, reveals engineering sophistication that makes our best technology look primitive by comparison. The evidence doesn't whisper of design, it shouts it from every molecule, every cell, and every living creature. For those willing to follow the evidence where it truly leads, the conclusion is inescapable. Life is not the product of blind, purposeless forces. It is the masterwork of an intelligence so vast that our greatest scientific discoveries have only begun to scratch the surface of its wisdom. The question isn't whether evolution is science, the question is how much longer we'll cling to this outdated ideology in the face of overwhelming evidence for design. Remember, true science follows evidence, not ideology. And the evidence for intelligent design is now so compelling that it requires more faith to believe in evolution than to accept the reality of a creator. The choice is yours. Will you follow the evidence where it leads, or remain bound by the chains of materialistic philosophy masquerading as science?